Hello everybody. Happy Friday night. Welcome to my Zen Den. I am so very glad that you are here with me. My name is Mandy VanHavermaet and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up from Gray Eagle, Minnesota. And I was looking at cards tonight trying to decide what I was going to do, and I came across a card that I'm really kind of surprised. I'm very surprised that I have not shared this card with you yet, because when I was looking through, I remember being in Houston and seeing the catalog for the first time, and I was so excited. And I came to the page with the card templates on it in that area of the catalog, and this is the card that jumped out to me like instantly. This is instantly the card that I envisioned in my head, and I came home, and as soon as I got the stamp set, this is the card that I made, and I cannot believe I haven't shared it with you yet. So it's super simple stamping, and so I'm going to flip the camera around and we are going to get stamping with the Choose Happy stamp set and one of the templates. So I'm excited to share it with you. Hold on one second. We will flip the camera around. Maybe. There it is. Okay, so let's get our stuff set up here. Give me just 1 second. Hello, Vicky. So good for you to join me. Okay, so when I very first seen the catalog, this page for some reason just jumped out at me because I had all these pictures, and I saw this card and I saw this bee right here, and I thought, oh, I wish they had a sentiment that said be happy. Look at that, be happy. And I was like, I've got to make that card. So I came home from Houston, from the on stage in Houston, and I created a card that I am going to share with you, and it is so ridiculously simple. So what we're going to need is our base, so a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 of real red, a piece of designer series paper, and this is from, I should have looked, let me tell you, it is from the Country Woods designer series paper pack. If you don't have designer series paper, you could use a blue, you could use anything. Like I said, this is simple stamping. I just like the blue wood. So that is 3 by 5.5. I've got 2 squares of basic white. Both of them are 1.5 by 1.5. So I've got 2 of those. And then I've got a strip that's a 1/2 inch wide of Daffodil Delight. So I've got the primary colors, right? Red, blue, yellow. Pretty bold, pretty bright, pretty happy. I just like those colors together. And then I've got a panel for the inside, 4 by 5.25. So let's get stamping. We're going to fold and burnish our card base. And I'm going to pull out the Choose Happy stamp set. And I really, really like this stamp set. And I could see a winter birthday card, or just, you know, happy birthday, right? With a couple of little penguins on there. What a cute happy birthday card. I made some really cool Halloween cards with this. I have really enjoyed this stamp set. So we are going to take out our, let's see here, our B stamp. And then I'm going to, and I left these on here because it is hard to read the words when they're upside down. So that is why I did that. So B and Happy is over here. I just love this. I think it's so much fun. So, and I'm going to challenge myself, because I did simple stamping tonight, I am using 1 block the whole night, and I'm only using 2 colors of ink. This card is going to use black ink. The other card that I'm going to do is using a colored ink, but I'm sticking with 1 ink for each card. So, and I've got a blend. You could use any marker. On these little tiny stamps like this, really and truly the Stampin' Right markers would work too, because there's not a ton of coloring on them. There's not a lot of shading, things like that. So we are going to stamp our honeybee on both squares. Like that. And then, because I have the honeybee out, let's stamp one on the inside too, because he's cute. And now I'm going to have to actually clean my stamps in between. But that's okay. We can do it, and I'm not going to lose them, because that happens too. Okay, we're gonna stick them right back inside. All right, so while I'm letting that cure just a little bit before I color, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And what I'm going to do is, I'm only going to do one at a time so that I can, one word at a time, so I can really line them up nicely. So I've got happy. And then I'm gonna flip my block over and pick up B, which is upside down. There's a challenge for you. The letters were right, and I was like, E-E-B, what the heck? So be happy. I think that is just the stinking cutest thing. And like I said, it is the card, it is the sentiment I seen as soon as, it was the first card that I imagined making out of this catalog, which was a lot of fun. Why do I remember that? I don't know. I remember weird things. So we're going to cover that up so we don't make a mess. And then I've got my, I'm going to use my Stampin' Blend. Like I said, if you've got Stampin' Write markers, you could totally use Stampin' Write markers. You could use colored pencils, whatever you have. My blends are right here on my desk, and so this is what I grabbed. But you could even use a blender pen if you wanted to with your yellow ink. Whatever we can make our little bee yellow with, right? All right, so let's assemble our card. This is our pieces right here. So we are going to, and I decided I'm only using one adhesive. So the adhesive of choice that I'm using is the green glue. I'm going to take this runner and stick it somewhere where I can't find it, because I am sticking to simple stamping tonight. And green glue is probably the most versatile adhesive that we have, because you can use it for so many different things. The trick is, don't use too much because it'll ooze out. So we are going to center this on our card front. And I think it's a little bit too long, but that's okay, because I've got, the fun thing about glue is that you can move it around a little bit after you've placed it. And so we're going to let that sit for 2 seconds. I'm going to grab a scissors because it's just a hair too long. It's hardly even too long. I shouldn't even try cutting this because it's probably going to wreck it. But watch me try it anyhow. All right, there we go. All right, so now I'm going to put my 2 little bees down, and they don't have to be perfect. And then I will put my Be Happy in there. And notice I didn't really pay attention to how long this is because I have a plan. I'm going to trim it just a little bit because I wanted to add just a little bit of interest to my card. So let's do that. Put our bees down. And my glue holder, literally a shot glass. I really like it though. My friend Melanie gave that to me, and it works really well. And it is not glass, so it won't fall off. When it falls off my desk, notice I say when, it won't break. So now I'm going to look at that, and I think I'm just going to, I'm not going to trim it square. I'm going to just one side of it, nip that off, just to make it just a little different, like that. And I am going to use dimensionals, even though this is simple stamping. Dimensionals are going to be used. If you don't have dimensionals, don't worry. You can put that flat down on there and it will be just fine. And I'm not adding any more fuss, no gems, no ribbons, no nothing, because I think that that is the stinking cutest card ever. So fun. So let's put this on the inside before I forget. Oh, I was having a little bit of a heart attack. I thought I put it on there wrong. Would have put it backwards. So cute. He's so cute. I love him. And so this was my inspiration for this card. So very similar, totally Choose Adventure with the sailboats, it could have totally done that. And this one's offset a little bit. Just because it's a template does not mean you have to do it identical to the way that the template is. It's just the templates are a springboard for your imagination. So let's move on to card number 2. Card number 2 is so much fun. I got a swap card from a lady by the name of Michelle Hornback, and I thought this was cute. I loved the colors. I loved all about it. And I noticed that the sunshine was from my Choose Happy stamp set, and I thought, oh, well, what the heck? That is awesome. So she used some different DSP and a different sentiment from a different bundle, but I'm going to show you my take on that card. So we are going to pull out our supplies. So I've got a 5.5 by 4.5 piece of Pool Party. This is a bit of a fun fold card. So, and then I've got a piece of 8 by 5.25 Lemon Lolly, and that's scored at 4 inches. So it's scored in half, so the 8-inch side. I've got a piece of Calypso Coral that is 3.5 by 4.5. And then I have a piece of Designer Series paper. Whew, I was panicking. This is from the bird pack that's in the small mini catalog, the September to December mini catalog. This is the back side of it. So there's the birds. This is 2.25 by 3.5. And then I've got a piece of basic white for the inside, and that is 3.75 by 5. And then for the scraps, we're going to need a scrap of Pool Party, a scrap of Lemon Lolly, and a scrap of basic white. And this time I am pulling in the basic oval punch. This is a really neat punch, and I found a really neat way because Michelle used circles for hers, and I wanted to make this a little bit simpler, so I'm just using one punch, but I've got a really fun way of layering that punch. So let's get stamping. I'm going to use the back of my, let's not use the back of that. I'm going to stamp over. Let me grab a piece of paper. There we go. Okay, I got something to stamp on now. I don't want to stamp on my desk because I'm going to go over the edges with my sunshine. So let's go into the Choose Happy stamp set. We're going to pull out the sunshine. I'm just going to mount that on my block, and I'm using Calypso Coral ink. One right there. Yeah, that's enough. I tend to go overboard when I'm stamping random. So, but inside Choose Happy, there's this little tiny smiley face right there. So we're going to grab that guy because my sunshines are going to be happy sunshines. You know what? While I've got this out, we're going to take our basic white, which is going to be the inside piece, and I'm going to stamp that on the inside. Okay, so now I've got my little smiley face. Let's make some happy suns. So cute. And there is no right or wrong on that, like where it's at. If it's up a little higher or down a little lower, it's a happy sun, for crying out loud. It's happy. So we are going to take those stamps off and put them back in our case so we don't lose them. And I got a little ink on there. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to build my card. So I'm going to adhere my piece of Designer Series paper right onto that. I think that is so stinking cute. I just love it. Glue. So I'm going to adhere just a little bit of glue. And I think I'm guilty of it with the glue. I used to really tend to go overboard on the glue. You don't need a ton. It is a very you don't need a ton of glue. So, and then I'm going to pull in, and I know I said simple stamping, but I love this ribbon. Wouldn't that be fun on there? I'm not going to do it, but it would be cute on there. But we're doing simple stamping. So here's my plan. I'm going to grab my trimmer, and I've got a second scrap. Nope, I'm going to use my same scrap because I'm simple stamping. Excuse my noise. I'm going to grab my trimmer because I forgot to do this before. And I am going to trim a 1/4 inch, just a little tiny strip of my lemon lolly. I almost threw it away with my trimmer. I just flung it away. Whew, it's tough, man, I'm telling you. And I am going to put that down right there. So let's grab our glue, and I'm just going to put a little teeny thin line of glue right on top of my designer series paper. And I'm going to line my lemon lolly up right to the edge. And this is a trick if you don't have a lot of ribbon, if you don't have the right color of ribbon, use a scrap of paper, a really thin scrap of paper. It's good. It's a good trick, and I've used it a lot. And if you are wanting to step it up a little bit, if you want to stamp on that paper to give it some image, if you want to emboss that would work too. But lots of different tricks. So we are going to fold our lemon lolly in half and burnish it. I'm going to pull in my piece of Pool Party and my lemon lolly. Let's see here, glue. Notice how I keep having to tell myself glue. I'm not used to using it. I'm looking for my tape runner. All right, so we're going to center that right on top of the Pool Party. And I think this color combination is just so much fun. I loved it. And that's absolutely what drew me to this card, was the color combination. And then after I got to looking at it, I'm like, hey, I have some of that stuff. So we'll center that right on top. Just like that. Oh, I forgot my smiley face. Let's pull him back out because we need a happy sun. There we go. All right, so now we're going to stamp our sentiment. And instead of taking a sentiment from the Choose Happy stamp set, which I could absolutely do that, I decided to use, on that same page in the annual catalog, is the saying hey. I really, really like that big hey. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that big hey, because this is just going to be a note card, a happy note card. So we are going to mount that right onto our block. And I'm going to pull in my Calypso Coral again. And we are just going to stamp that straight down and straight up. Love that. Hey. All right, so now I've got my oval punch. I'm going to punch out my sentiment. And then I've got my lemon lolly. I'm going to punch an oval out of the lemon lolly. And I have got my scrap of Pool Party. I am going to punch an oval out of the Pool Party. And wait till you see how I layer these up. It's so much fun. I love how it turned out. What I did is I will center these two crisscross. So it's kind of a circle, but it's kind of not. So use a little bit of glue. This is a great task for glue. If you're going to do this task, I would recommend using glue if you're going to do this technique, because you can move those circles around just a little bit to get to where you want it to be. Okay, so now I am going to layer this on, and it makes kind of a swirl looking. Isn't that fun? Oh, I love it. So let's grab our glue one more time. And you can almost do the entire back of the white piece. And we're just going to center that on there. And it makes like the coolest little swirl looking thing. I was so happy when that came together so good. It went together in my head. It's really a relief when what goes through my head comes out correctly with the paper, right? So I am not going to use dimensionals. I am just going to attach this with my glue straight down onto the card. And I'm kind of centering it there on that coral. And I think the suns look so fun. Oh, I just love this. This is just a happy, happy card. Let's attach our inside. And so there are a few differences. With Michelle's card, she didn't have a white piece on the inside. I like the white piece on the inside. I think it adds just a little bit more. You would not need to have it. Most definitely would not. This Lemon Lolly is a nice light color. You can definitely write on it and it can be seen. But, all right. So there is my second card. So these two stamp sets, the sale, the fifth, let's see here. No, these aren't on sale. I'm sorry. I'm tricking you, but they're great stamp sets and they're really inexpensive and they're super useful. The Choose Happy has the Thanksgiving, the anniversary, summer, Easter, spring, heart, love, joy, dreams, autumn, winter, hello. It's got all these really good, like well-rounded sentiments on there for like the entire year. So I have really used that Choose Happy stamp set a lot. The Saying Hey is kind of the same thing, where it's just a good all-around stamp set that it's so versatile. You can use it for so many different things. It's most definitely staying in my stash forever. I like both of them. So I hope you have a great weekend. I hope to see you back here next Friday night when I am back in my Zen Den. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.